Welcome back to Reality Muse. We are recapping Big Brother 28, week 5 and 6. I'm Misha Baptiste. Joining me this season is Fear Factor House of Fear alum, Mr. Lance Richard. Hello, Mr. Lance. How are you doing?
Hey, Misha, it's always good. It's bubbling hot, and it's
It's
always good
bubbling
talking
hot.
about Big Brother with you.
I kind of like that you're doing that. Like, I like the beat. It's always good to talk about Big Brother. Okay, the little nugget in my head. Anyways, guys, thank you for being patient with us this week. We have been traveling. I've been celebrating a birthday. Lance has been doing his competition gamer business.
Yes.
So we're back. It's
Yes.
Tuesday. Things have happened since the Sunday episode, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything up until everything through Sunday night's episode. So this will be spoiler free. Again, let us know if you guys want this to not be spoiler free in the future. All right, we're going to get right into it. I feel like the headline for the rest of this week is, will Devons or won't Devons use the diamond power of Veto to save Dee? What do you think about that? Do you think he should use it? What are your thinking around that?
For me, it's only a couple more weeks available for him to use it. So unless he feels that he's in imminent danger in the next 2 weeks, he might as well do a grandstand and use it. The reason why I don't think he should use it on Dee and he should use it on Angela is because it, to me, is going to show, if I was Angela, that I'm the third of that. Honestly, if you look at competition-wise, Angela is least likely to win the blockbuster. So why would you want to leave me on the block? I would much rather, if we're thinking about icons as a whole, let's save Angela. Let's make sure Angela's off the block, Dee can win blockbuster, and we can work on whatever happens comes Thursday. So for me, he should use it, but I think he need to use it for Angela to cement their relationship.
I love the idea of it being used to save for Angela. And I don't even think that's a conversation that's happening. It's actually a little annoying to me. Dee essentially crashed out when she got put on the block in the Sunday night episode. I didn't like it. It's a little bratty. And then you're like, Devons, please get me off the block. I can't stand it. And it's like, okay, well, what about Devons? Like, they are coming for the icons. Like, this is like an active thing that they're doing. And so if I were Devons, I would not use it. I would save it for myself. You know, he can, I mean, that's the thing though. I do think it's probably worth saving Angela. I do think Angela is kind of vulnerable. Like, she will be on that block. No, honestly, okay, I'm thinking about this in real time, guys. I think whoever Angela sits on the block with will go home against her. Like, if it's Dee, Dee's going home. If it's Haley's going home. So I don't know, but I guess, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's just like a lot of what if. What if. And Rick Devens is in, like I say, always that boring state of the game where it's like, let me figure out how I can hike this up. Let me figure out who I can pull in to make stuff happen, because they've been very strategic with their moves before. So why not do your strategic moments to ensure that Dee survives no matter what, instead of using a power in a week that maybe y'all can all make it through scot-free. Honestly.
One thing I will say is that when it comes to Devons using the power of Veto, Taylor's name has not come up, and I'm very happy for that. Taylor continues to play a decent game. I can't say great, but I think it is still pretty decent for the information that she has, right? How do you think I'm going to say her and Lala closed out that HOH week last week?
I think they closed it out really well. At the end of the day, of course, we all wanted Throg gone, and their target originally, pushed themselves. They won the blockbuster. That's what the blockbuster is for. I think watching it, I was on the edge of my seat because I was like, okay, like, do I really want, I started feeling like, the Drews and the Barretts and the Melodies, like, do I really want Throg out the house yet? But I know if Throg is in the house, she's coming for my clients. I want Lala in this game, and I want Taylor in this game, and she's the one most likely to put them up. So I'm like, maybe she should leave. But at the same time, Chuck really has put a big yuck in my mouth for this week. And I think it was time for him to get that reality check, that humbleness slapped across his face, and realize, like, you were trying to be this woman's savior all week long. And just like I said in our last pod, he was going to get the repercussions of that. And that's what we saw.
Chuck seems like one of the kids who were left behind by George Bush. He's
I'm
a little
screaming.
slow.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a
because of
little
that scene.
slow.
Oh my God, that scene with him and Taylor, right?
And him and Lala. Lala's like, me being clueless is my game. And it was not, he's like, yeah, no, you're dumb. And she's like, no, me being dumb is my game. No, 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 you're dumb. Like, it's nothing. And it's just like, laugh, 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 like, laughs it off. Everyone, he is smarter than everyone. Chuck, you have not been playing this game. You have been dragged
Zero
up to
count
this
wins.
point,
Yeah.
right? You've had no strategy. You've led no fight. Kamo, literally one of your closest allies got you on the block. All you had was Haley. And again, Taylor and Lala tried to be front, like, let me, manscape, right? Like, okay, I don't think, if you're not a feaster, you might not know about this, but
The hygiene.
Taylor was trying to help a brother out, as one does, and just say, we kind of smell you when you go use the bathroom, and it's not poop. Because he was trying to say, look, well, I did poop. Like, no, it's not poop. It's just it's a scent that only could be cured by, how would you say it, Lance? How would you say
Honestly, watching the moment on the feeds, I really would hope that, I had friends in life that would tell me this. And even then, he was acting like so confused. Like, why are you so
She had
confused?
to say it, like, you
Like,
stank.
babe, I'm trying to tell it to you in the nicest way possible because, we only been knowing each other for 5 weeks. How do you tell someone that they don't smell the most pleasant? That's always what I wonder. Like, even like friend groups and stuff, I'm like, me and my friends always talk about like, hey girl, let's be real with each other. We've been out all day. Am I a little musky? How's my breath? I'm gonna be talking to people, like, let me know. Like, I'm always that person. So like, I know it's some people like to do it the gentle way, but like, I think just especially with me, with my girls, it's like, hey, sis, get you a little carpe,
Hello,
get you a little crest, get you a little, shave those pits. Maybe that's what's holding the funk.
Well,
That's
that's the
what's holding the
thing.
funk.
Essentially, she's like, can you shave your pubes? Because your pubes clearly smell. I cannot believe, am I going to get like shadow banned for using the word pubes? I don't know. We'll see. But that's basically what's going on here.
Exactly. Poor baby.
And people online were like, oh, he's so embarrassed. I was so mean of Taylor to do that in front of people. I mean, she did it in front of Haley. Like, that's supposed to be his best friend.
His girl.
And Haley wasn't saying, oh, Chuck, you don't
no.
stank. Like, she was like, I already know what it is, actually.
And mark my words, that's about to be his Big Brother comic.
What do you mean?
Every year they do the Big Brother comics, and it's always something pertaining to something that sticks out of the house. And I think with this, it's solidified his is going to be about hygiene.
I'm shook, and
because they talked about him clipping his toenails in the past, and not like just anywhere, and now it's this, so it's like, ooh.
He lacks true self-awareness. He really, really lacks self-awareness. So glad you're gone. Very embarrassing. Very much so flop. Oof, like flop. Like, be gone. Anyways, I love that for us. I do love how that worked out because look, Haley was supposed to be the target, but towards the end of the week, in general, it flipped towards Chuck, where like Chuck was going to go home either way if he did not win.
Yeah, actually, that's the crazy part.
Yeah, and I think that was Dee's idea. Again, I think the reason why Dee's on the block this week is because Dee is just trying to have too much fun. She wants too much control over the game. And I feel like in the beginning of the season, she knew to fall back. And I think that did work. Like, I do think that her falling back is what has kept her off the block up until the lyric vote switch that put her on the radar of people and really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, mostly men. But now, this is her second week trying to manipulate the vote where she really did not have to. It did not matter who went home, but again, she just likes to have that control over the game. I think it's like the icons just assume, Go ahead.
Yeah, they're just bored. They are bored at this point. They haven't really had no like moments where they had to fight. And I think they're like biting at the chomps. And it's like Dee in Survivor played a game where she always knew who was next. Especially her winning season. She was someone who moved methodically, had her people, and they were ready at any moment, no matter who won immunity, they knew which person was going to be next. So I think here in Big Brother, it's to a point where they haven't even touched the block up until this point. They've been in control and had their hands in the pots, even when it wasn't one of the icons winning HOH. And for me, Dee is to the point now where it's like, okay, it's mid to getting to the mid, almost jury time. I have to start thinking about who's in this house left that even if they're voted out in jury, that I'll be able to explain my game and they understand. So she's like, okay, maybe Haley, we had our little moment. Her and Angela had their situation, but what if I'm sitting with Angela? Haley will never vote Angela. So maybe she needs to say, Chuck is doing a little too much. He's gravitating to the Lala and Taylor's a little bit, even though they put them up. Maybe he needs to go, and keeping that relationship with Barrett so freaking tight. And it just shows the player she is, and it gives, it lightens me up as someone who likes these games and watches these games, because it almost turns into unpredictability week to week. We don't know exactly who she's going to target next or what avenue she see for herself towards the end.
Yeah. On the feeds when it comes to Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, you got to pay attention because that's when she kind of clicked like, wait a minute. It's like that itch. I always think about Suri, her first week of Big Brother and BB 26. No, 24? 24. No, it's not 24. So maybe it's 25.
Wasn't last. It was this
It was
year.
25.
Yeah.
It's 25. When they put whoever on the block and then the veto happens. So by the time the veto happens that first week, veto happens on
For
Saturday.
them on Saturday, yeah.
It happens so they were like, so she's like, okay, so when we vote them out, and they're like, Thursday, like I have to wait until Thursday to get this person out because she had the strategy locked in. And so I just think they get so antsy when Tuesday comes, Wednesday comes, and it's just like, well, is this the right decision?
What
is
are we
this
really
fun?
doing?
Yeah, like so
yeah.
I think that definitely happens with the Survivor players. What do you think about her hard on? I think it's a hard on that she has for Taylor at this point. She is so intimidated, I think, or jealous. I know it's not jealousy. It's not jealousy. I definitely think it's like I see you.
Yeah,
it's an I see you.
100%.
She's competitive. She's competitive against Taylor. That's the right word. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 100% that. Like, Dee sees Taylor as someone who can do what she do. Taylor has been concreting herself in a spot and throwing ideas out and even giving people advice when she really don't have to, and really showing that she could be on the same level as Dee. If this was a vice versa thing where it was all newbies, I think Taylor would be concreting herself really high in the ranks. And the only people that's been clocking her sneaky gameplay has been the icons. If the icons wasn't there, Taylor would be able to maneuver in a way, just like we said about the Roms and the, Kamu. Like, the people that's constantly catching on to their gameplay are people who've been there, done that. These newbies aren't seeing that. Same what we said about Drew. The only people that's caught on that he's playing that perfect middle game is these icons. So Dee's hard on is seeing that she is someone that could be in the way of me winning another TV show.
Yeah, it is so funny. I feel like I'll never live it down thinking that Taylor had no emotion in the game.
Both of us. Oh my God.
It's because she's got a lot. Like she and Yash are locked in. This is almost Taylor's second, HOH in a row, right? Because she's so close with Yash. And that's like been a relationship that's been built over time, and they really trust each other. I think that like she's basically is replacing Lyric when it comes to Yash.
Yeah.
She's, for whatever, like I'm going to talk about Kamu objectively for this episode. Maybe not always, but for this episode, I'm going to speak about him. He and Taylor have a really good relationship. She's basically replaced Haley for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got, Lala, who she's kind of pulling along. Let's stop there real quick. It seems like Lala did not... She kind of like limped, unbeknownst to her, to the end of her HOH week. It seems like there's a couple of people she has turned off. Have you seen that pop up? Yeah.
Yeah, like even what they showed in the eviction episode when she just started, like I remember we talked about last week. I was like, I'm so worried that she's gonna get grand with power. And, we was watching the feeds last week right after when everyone was anti-Haley, she was just always, yeah, had so much to say, like, oh yeah, we know the next 3 people going. And that's what started to happen, where she just started getting loose lips and sitting there and freely talking about stuff in front of Drew and Barrett, someone you put on the block. Like, they don't have no reason to tell that, even if they wasn't working with them. Let's hypothetically put it in our brain. Let's go to a different universe. Barrett and Dee isn't even working together, but you put me on the block and you're telling me this information that you want the icons out.
Right.
Yes,
right.
It might have been Drew that said Devons is the strongest, but you ran it. You took, sorry. Ooh, you took it right out of his mouth and just elaborated it and then caused them to recreate the whole thought process and now push the narrative that Lala is coming, which also messes up Taylor because they know Taylor is in the meat and that potatoes. So it's just like it sucks. She just running her mouth. Like they were saying, she was so drunk with power and drunk off of some other things. Keep your mouth closed and stop running your mouth because you don't know when to stop.
Yeah. And she thinks do what is your read on Angela and her feelings about Lala? I feel like I get whiplash so much with them.
Yeah,
They're
it's
so
just
nice, nasty to each other.
nice and nasty, but it's just like so back and forth. It's been that all season. Like for me,
Right.
Angela don't like Lala and she needs to just admit it. But she comes in her face like, during the
Love you,
HOH reign,
Lala.
like, oh my God, I love you. Like, we did that, Haley, we anti-Haley. And now that like it's been progressed. I haven't really seen too many scenes on the feeds. I'll speak as a feeder. Not many scenes of Lala and Angela being in the same room. But let Lala win something again or let Taylor be. She'll be right back in those conversations. So it's like, just say you don't like me and let's keep it moving instead of playing this like fake fraud BS. Like it goes immediately like, I knew I never could trust her. She always been after us, but you was sitting there running your whole crybaby stance in her HOH room last week. Like, make it make sense to me.
Right.
I always told you I don't care for Angela too much, and I don't like the way she maneuvered in this game.
Well, yesterday was her birthday. Happy Leo season. No, same. No, same.
Happy birthday to Misha.
Okay. No, there was a question. Okay. Yes. So Haley is using the word bully when it comes to Lala. She's saying, and this has not been in the episode, and I don't think it will be, thankfully. But yeah, she has been like actively, especially like Friday going into Saturday this weekend. Lala's been really bullying me. She actually tried to get no. When Yash was telling her that she was going on the block, she was like, I just feel like that is validating Lala, or like, she's not gonna realize that she really has been bullying me.
Yeah.
If I'm going on the block. And it's like, no one. I actually also, speaking of Angela,
it's her 6th bad week, girl. 6th bad week.
And so Angela, I think someone was asking her about the bully comment, and she's like, the thing is that I love Haley, but I don't think that word she's using is like
correct.
the apt word.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think anyone in the house actually feels like she's being bullied by Lala. Yeah. What did you just say, though, that I wanted to get back to?
Probably her Haley's 6th bad week. Like, she's so poor me. She's like so poor me, and it's just crazy. Like, yeah. I'm just tired of her constantly becoming a victim whenever you put yourself in this predicament. And even now that she survived another week with the blockbuster, with her now just still speaking on like, no, I'm fully alone, and still keeping herself like in that thing of like, I need to make sure I'm in a room with at least one person that likes me, and trying to like butter up a little bit to Yash and try to reheat the nachos with Kamu. And it's like, babe, if you would have just been very like forthcoming with stuff, people would trust you more. But I think I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, I think now people are realizing who really were those flippy flop votes, and they just made rash decisions last week because they were so mad at each other. Because I just really hate, like, even we go back to the veto, like, yeah, we might be mad at each other, but Kamu, why didn't you save one of them? And, it keeps a target that's possibly in front of you. So it's just like, I don't know. It's rash decisions, but I understand when you don't know all the information, you make silly, crazy decisions when people feed you the BS.
Great segue, because I did want to ask you, do you think it was the right decision for Kamu to not take one of those allies off the block?
No, because at the end of the day, we have worked together in the game for 4 solid weeks. We've done some crazy masterful stuff. And if we are the only ones that's still confused by the vote, then we obviously have to be on the outs of it. And then you saw how easy those icons got into people's brain to ensure that they were the new targets. So I think Kambu started to drop his strategic hat a little bit when he started letting D and Devons get in his head about where he stood with them and trying to distance himself from the people that he created these masterful plans with. I just think my reprieve would have been like, hey, stuff happened with us, but this is the least I could do. Whether he took off, I think he should have took off Chuck because Chuck was indebted to him up until that point. And Haley would have just had to fight. Being that Haley was the target, I don't think it would have been as much blowback until after she won the blockbuster. So I just think he made a big mistake for his game.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I will say him and Haley are mostly cool again. Not that that matters that much because as of now, like, Haley's on the block. So
Yeah.
I agree. The thing is, like, the truth of the matter is that, like, Kamo just doesn't really like Chuck. He didn't really love, like, Haley. Like, they just kind of were like, sorry. See, like, he wanted to offload them, like, because he did pick up Yash. He did pick up Taylor. He kind of got Lala. I don't think he realizes that, like, Drew don't really mess with him. You know, basically FAP, which is Barrett, Mallory, Melody, Drew. They don't really mess with Kamo. He doesn't really know where he stands exactly in the game. And he also thinks at this point that he still has D. Now that shifts because he got upset, which I think this was kind of in the episode. On the Sunday of Kamu being like upset with D about wanting to flip the vote again. And yeah. Were you surprised that he got upset with D, and you're frozen still? You're frozen. Okay, you're back.
Yeah, no, I personally don't. I think he was rightfully upset. At the end of the day, like, we created these plans, we're working so hard. And if it's so easy for you to flip-flop and derive away from the collective or what we decided, why wouldn't it be something that you do in the future to affect me? I just think Kamo is starting to see the way that D maneuvers his game, and he's starting to see, like, okay, maybe I might not be top of that totem pole of protection. And I know me as a game player, it starts to make you wonder and think, like, man, if they wasn't hearing nothing I had to say, it starts to become feeling like they're self-loathing players for them. Like, they only think about themselves and not the collective. And that starts to affect how they move and shake and play in the game.
Yeah. So basically, he's just like picked up on some pattern recognition, is like, you know what? Dee be lying and I can't trust her. And I think it really can be that simple. But do you think that he should have made that, like, you know how you can clock someone and be like, clock it, I'm not going to do anything about it? Do you think he should have made it aware that D's not messing with him? Or that he's not messing with D?
No, right now is not the time for that. You need to keep, you on that sizzle. You might not be on the hot seat, but you're on that sizzling platter. And anything you do could cause things to derive and grow and move towards you. And right now, that should have been something he spoke to the diary room, something he let his feelings out to us as viewers, but keep it close to your heart. Any inclinings or feelings you have towards anybody, because you never know if you might need that person next week. So keep it cute sometimes. You got to learn how to put that mask on. He's been doing great with his mask for all those other weeks, boo. So why you can't do it when it comes out to D? But it's something different when it comes to him and D that causes him to, like, react when stuff happens, because I think he really, really likes her and trusts her.
Okay, so we're about to get into Yash's HOH. Excited for Yash, technically. I'm glad that we have someone new, something fresh. I think we kind of both felt like early in the season that, like, Yash might have a moment where he is, in this type of position. And, now we got the icons on the block, which is lovely. That being said, Yash is, like, weird when it comes to women. He seems like one, like, I'm going to use the word incel. I don't think he's actually an incel, but I think that he has taken in incel content, which is just across the board with that generation. And I think, like, him and Kamu do not like to be played by D. Like, they're like, yeah, women, no boys. Like, it's just, So go ahead. What you got to say about that?
Yeah, no, I agree, but I originally said that in the beginning of the season. I'm like, oh, he's one of those broy.
Yeah, you did say that.
If a girl comes into the fold, it's always they're going to be that secondary level compared to, like, how him and his bros are going to run things. It's always like, I'm the husband, you're the wife who's going to cook it clean. I'm the top dog, you do what I say. And when they derive away from that, it's kind of like, how are you able to do that? How is your brain able to work? It's like he doesn't understand that women have the same 24 hours of the day. Women have the same brain cells as you, probably even more developed than yours. And it's just like, it's really showing in some of the conversations that he have. Even the ones like him and Taylor are really good, but the way him and Taylor communicate, Taylor almost has to do that, like, clock it, like, you don't get what I'm saying. And you know how Taylor is. She already is like, quick with it. And it's like, baby boy, what's going on?
I've noticed that, on Friday, like, the clips of them talking together, she would say something, but he would always, like, in some way undercut it or be like, say something opposite.
constant
But
rebuttal,
yes.
kind of thing.
Yes, it's just not. Yes, he's not accepting that she is smart and knows what's going on in the game. I didn't curse. I'm so proud of me. And Kamu is. I just think he just wants to be the smartest person in the room, and especially when it comes to a woman. I think that that's the biggest thing for Kamu. And Drew's clocked it a couple of times where he would never want a woman to be shorter than him. And Drew was like, why? Is that because you just got to feel like you're bigger than a woman? And then there was something else, like a thing of like, I wouldn't want my woman disagreeing with me or like saying something against me, like a compliment against me kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Drew again was like, why? You just, you want women to be yes men or some, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Go
And
ahead. Yeah.
you remember that conversation they had back, I don't know if it's like week 2 or 3, where they were talking and they were saying like how they didn't want their woman more muscular than them and they wanted a very like
Yeah.
feminine type of woman. And, some of the women had like thoughts about that. And it all boils down to it was a big conversation with Yash and Kamu. So it's all just coming into light of their insecurities when it comes to like women because they want to just feel superior.
Yes. It's really sad, honestly, because, like, for someone like Yash to be like that, like, you're not a whole person when you can't see people as whole people.
Exactly.
When you feel like you must be smarter than, a woman or anything, in general, like, you are not whole within yourself if you can't see people whole. I just
Exactly.
made that up, but honestly, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't
you
I?
ain't that. You ain't that.
I'm a life and leadership coach. Okay, so disappointing because I'm excited, but I don't. It's rough to be on this team because I'm only on this team because Taylor's over here, Taylor and Lala. But
That's but that's how I said, how iconic would this have been to be a week that they focused on gravitating and creating their new bonds? Like Yash and Taylor, Kamu, pull Haley back in. They have Lala,
yeah,
and then use that to find those little floaters. Like this could have been a week that you could have built rapport with the Barretts and maybe the Drews. Don't put none of them up. Like just put smack back, no shade. They should have just put all 3 icons on the block because the fail safe
I
is
agree.
Haley going home. If
Yeah.
anything goes awry, Haley just goes home and you lose a possible number for your Kamu side. I think they was just so still stuck on the BS of what last week was.
Yes. Yeah, because a part of the reason why Haley went on the block is because he felt like he needed to do that for Lala, which is interesting because I don't think that you got Lala either way. I don't think you need to even if you lose Lala, you still got Lala because where Lala gonna go? Like she's gonna, dislike the icons more than she dislikes you. So I
Exactly.
agree, especially knowing that Devons has the Diamond Power Veto, that means he can only save himself. That's a really good point. Switching gears. So the four FAP, Barrett, Melody, Mallory, and Drew, they are officially in the middle. Lines have been crossed.
One of them is winning the game.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that's something I was going to mention that I couldn't remember. Haley and Taylor are kind of rebuilding their relationship.
Mm-hmm. I
So
did say a few of that.
that is kind of interesting because I didn't think that Haley was going to put her guns down when it came to Taylor, but she did. So that's a thing that's happening over there. So I would put Haley on that side of the house, even though that they're not really protecting her. But yeah, FAP is in the middle. I feel like Taylor is missing out on not connecting with Melody more. I think that she should really ingratiate herself into Melody, and because no one is doing that outside of FAP. And maybe that's a Melody problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I would work her a bit more. What do you
Yeah.
think? Have you thought about that or anything like that?
No, not like fully thought about that idea. So that brings a new point to my brain. But it goes down to when you're like in this like showmancy thing, it causes people to feel like, how deep can I integrate that? So it's like having Drew in Melody constantly causes people that never really had a full connection with her be even scared to even like integrate that. Because it's like if I integrate it, I have to also accept the fact that I'm integrating Drew. And it's kind of tough for me. Like if I was in the game, if we didn't have an established situation before her and Drew did that, I'm not about to sit there and continue to waste my time on someone who I'm already going to be secondary to and even more. Because,
Right.
she got her girly friendship, she got her man, and it almost is like, what am I gaining from it?
Well, she already has a relationship with Drew. You're right, but just she only has one girl, and I think that Taylor needs more
Support.
women to just, not be intimidated by her and not see her. Taylor is interesting. I keep bringing up the fact that she's from Florida, but you know how she said that, like, her and Kamu kind of connect because of faith. She just really, as a girl from the South, church
Yeah.
girl, a lot of Black people from the South can be Democrats who are conservative, like socially conservative.
Mm.
And I think our girl Taylor might be in that camp that is keeping her like very like male centered in a way.
Yeah. Because
It's either that or the women just are not messing with her.
Yeah, that's what I say. And I try to think about it from fees. Like, we also got to realize that they had the Adam and Eve thing, so it kept Mallory and Melody together a lot. Like, I think she really should work on Mal way more than Melody. I feel like,
Wow.
like, if push come to shove, like, Melody has Drew always, and then by proxy, Mal is there and will do anything for her girl. But if Taylor would make a stronger connection with Mal, if anything goes awry with Melody and they do strike and Melody leaves, then immediately it will cause Mel to just fall into Taylor's lap almost. I don't feel she's doing enough groundwork with that. When things begin to divulge and dissolve, she needs people that's going to be able to follow a lot to her beat. Instead of now, I feel like Mal will slowly move towards being integrated even more with Barrett and Drew's, and deciding where Drew and Barrett decides to go, which, as we see on feeds, it's still the icon side. It's just gonna, as they're creating this new divide, it's not working in Taylor, Kamu, and Lala's favor because of those connections.
One, you're absolutely right that Mal has more juice, winning power. That's exactly what you meant by like, what does she gain by pulling in Melody? It's way better to gain Mallory. Period. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. People keep trying to tell Drew that like the icons are trying to put you on the block. They were targeting you, and he is not believing them.
Yeah, like when new developments being created day to day, it just shows that he just don't like. I want to give him the benefit that he's a really great player, but really great players start to see the in between, and I feel he's struggling with seeing the in between. Like, moment one when he got put on the block should have been back then, and also I don't know why Kamu isn't doing a lot of the damage control to let him know what the plans really were to gain Drew on his side.
So I feel like
and I feel like that's honestly a fumble in their game too, because what does Haley and Kamu have to lose at this point? Tell the mess, tell the drama, so that you could secure that. Because if you got Drew, you got Mel, and that's I'd say you got Barrett if you got Drew. So like, I don't have no more secrets. It ain't quiet on the creek no more, boo. I got to tell you everything so that I could gain you as an ally. And I feel like that's the ball that Kamu is dropping, because Drew would be indebted to him and appreciate that, to know that, like, dang, if things wouldn't have went that way, I could have been out of this house. Because Drew is someone who can win this game for sure. Yes. But it's going to be a moment where once he's putting all his love and faith into Devons and D, they're going to be the ones to strike and continue to see how he is a powerhouse in this game.
Yeah. Drew honestly has bought his way to jury for sure. I don't see him.
100%.
Yeah, honestly,
Deep jury.
Yeah.
Actually, Fap. Yeah, I see Fap making it jury, all of them.
And I'm interested in seeing if Barrett becomes a serious, strategic, interesting player. He's still not to me.
It'll be when a HOH from him come, because to me, he's just very filler floater, like hashtag quintessential filler floater. And I expected way more from him coming into this game.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. I was about to go into superlatives, but we do need to do like, who do you think is going home this week? Without like, not naming Veto, anything like that. Just between Angela, D, Haley. Who do you think is at risk?
They have the numbers to send Haley straight out the door, and Yash will have a horrible HOH. No shade. The fail-safe easily is freaking Haley. And if she don't win Blockbuster, she's out of here. Because think about it. Once Blockbuster is done, Angela RD wins it. We will see that you have Fat voting, and Drew controls how they vote. Then you have the other two icons that's not on the block voting that way. I feel that that's how the votes will go. And then you'll have Taylor and Lala on the outs, Kamu on the outs with the vote. Haley, just off of being, she's on the block. So Like it's just a lot of missing moving pieces where I just easily see Haley Throg as being the failsafe, and it won't be a successful HOH for Yash to me.
Yikes. Yeah, you're probably right. It is probably gonna there's no way that, you're gonna rally votes for Angela. There's no, yeah, there's no way. But let's say, okay, it's Angela D on the block on Thursday.
Angela goes home. She's gonna be blinking.
Angela goes home.
I feel
Angela
like
goes
it.
home.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Devons is not voting D. Devons is going to convince Drew. Drew is probably going to be able to convince 1, 2, 3 of Fab. Barrett is not voting her, so that included in Fab. Taylor, depending on the last person she talks to, she's going to try to figure out how, and wherever Taylor vote, Lala vote. So it's like hit or miss. I don't know. It's tough.
No, you're kind of right.
It might be tough.
The decision will be between Fab.
They're the voting block that determines who go home out of every scenario right now.
Yes.
Actually,
yeah. So that's the second headline. Where will Fap's loyalty or vote lie this week? With the people of color or the icons?
Literally, 100%. They are the determinant.
And another question: do you think Yash should have took the bribe from D?
Honestly, he would have had $5,000 no matter what place he is. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if he would have taken the bribe, because I don't think this was in the episode, but if she basically wanted him to put, it would be Haley, Drew, Melody on the block if Yash would have took the bribe.
I think the way that she should have done it, she should have just proposed one name, and I think it could have worked. But she wants to control every nominee, and I think that's what shut down the bribe.
And I think she should have offered bribe plus, like bribe loyalty, bribe jury.
Yeah.
Something like that, especially because like he did have good reasoning to put her on the block because she put him on the block week 1. She reneged. Honestly, that alone, I'm not sure if he ever, because that's his chance. Yeah. Like he has, like this is his first chance to put her on the block. He should have put her on the block. And you went
against your deal. Like, I'm sorry, I'm never going to forget somebody going against their deal. We helped you win HOH. We all should have been saved. So in my mind, I'm a little vengeance type of person. So eventually, I would have had to get you back.
Yeah, Scorpio season coming. I'm a Scorpio rising. Okay, now it's time for superlatives. So this is superlatives for week 5. I'm not saying this for you. I'm saying this for them.
Yeah.
Superlative. We're not doing week 6. We're just doing week 5. This week was hard. I'm not gonna hold you. It's hard because I don't think y'all are gonna be very surprised by my player of the week. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, wait, I don't have my flop.
And you also got my mind twirling from last week where you was like, okay, really look at criteria for what it is.
Now, that's the thing, though. I'm not gonna hold you. Mine is probably not going to be under that criteria because it's so hard, right? Like, I'm not about to put a Kamu as my player of the week. Let's be real. Okay, from there, go ahead.
All right, so player, right? We're doing player first. Got it.
We're doing player of the week. 1, 2, 3, Mallory.
Drew. I like it.
Very similar. Very similar. For Mallory, for me, it's because I think her threat is totally down. I think people like her, respect her. Her winning the time capsule and her having the evidence of like, hey, the audience likes me.
Yeah.
I think that has like calmed down. Like I think Taryn has actually said that people are speaking way more nicely about her since finding out that she got, like, that's the first time that the audience got to vote a non-icon. So there you go. Yeah, I just think people are interested. Like she's playing a cool game. She's good. She's good for a minute.
I agree to your point on that, like, threat level has been being diminished, but she's also been building her connections. Her connection with Barrett and her connection with Drew, and of course we already know her connection with Melody. It just speaks volumes. And I think even her small little conversations, even though it's awkward that she have with D sometimes, like when I'm on a feed and I see her and D talking, I'm like, oh, it reminds me of weeks ago of that awkward, weird conversation. But I think people are warming up and she's slowly finding out her own of who she really is. And I think she's just thriving as a person all around. And when you think about like a player that has gained traction, to me, she's been the person that played really good this week. Her name was not even a thought, of course, because it was a Lala HOH. But even didn't hear too many people outside of that saying like, oh, we got to worry
Yeah.
about her. We got to worry about her
Yeah.
because she can't win stuff. And that's what the talks used to be. But now you don't even hear it anymore.
The last time it was like an option to put her up was when Haley was HOH, that Haley was like, I'm not putting her on the block. Like, I respect her. I don't want to put her up.
Mm-hmm.
So she has respect around the house. And like, seeing how she is, when it comes to like how to vote, I think she's pretty honest. I don't know if she's always going to be honest, but she's pretty honest. And yeah, she has decent relationships with everyone. I think everyone feels like they can go talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mallory, tell me about Drew for you.
Yeah, like for me, Drew has always been a rising star for me in the game of Big Brother. But when you think about this week, like with them almost like solidifying their four, it's already kind of obvious, but like just solidifying it, he already have his like connections with the icons. He has his connection with Barrett, where Barrett even is able to sit there and see his ally be the one to throw an icon under the bus, but they still flip it to where it doesn't involve it. It shows his social capital with these people. His connection with Barrett is his saving grace because he was in a conversation literally digging in Devons, who is one of the icons who is running the show, speaking very much so facts, but Barrett went and relied that information and flipped it on someone else. So that shows how he has that capital. And even his relationship growing with Taylor, growing with Yash, it just speaks volumes of how this kid is playing the game. And for a week that, he could have easily been the Pawn Star, he showed that, hey, I'm laying my groundwork because when those weeks come and the fluff is gone and all the dust has settled from the battles, I have to make sure that I'm superior and in a place where these people will keep me safe and get to the end of this game. He's a threat to win, totally.
I agree. And I like him. He's a little cutie pie. Also, not that this doesn't really matter, but apparently he's Mexican. So
Latinx.
The more you know about him. Latinx, yes, baby. Yes. Okay, strategic player of the week. Right. Might be the same.
And this is from after Lala's HOH, right?
Yeah, the week of Lala's HOH.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Taylor.
Kamu.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
I like yours too, but let's hear your thoughts on why Taylor.
Taylor, I think though people see her and they're targeting her, I think that she ended the week with some loyal allies finally. Like things aren't solidified with her, Lala, with her, Lala, Yash, and Kamu, but I think like it's like a gentleman's agreement between the four of them at this point.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's wonderful, especially like going into this week with Yash winning HOH. Now, thing is, right? Now, if she didn't win, I mean, if Yash didn't win, would she be on the block? Who knows? Yeah, yes, but I think she has decent conversations with most people in the house. Like, like you said, like her and Drew kind of are good. Her and Devons kind of good. Her and Mallory and Melody kind of good. Like, I think at a certain point, like she got some relationships. Now, not everyone's loyal to her. And like, yeah, she's still intimidating people, but I just think that she's she's outside, she's finally outside.
Yeah, 100%. Like she was one of the top choices for me, but it's just some stuff with Kamu Ejad, and I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But to me, Taylor literally basically had her second HOH of the season. She basically was able to, even with the nominees that were put up, to build traction with some of them, just in the event that who comes back. She's been someone not afraid to kind of say like where she stands or what her thought process is also why, the icons are starting to see her. But when you look at it, she has made leaps and bounds even more from the previous week of what she created. To me, she's just a strategic mastermind and is starting to see her path to the end of the game. And she's really slowly, even though I think she didn't move a little faster, slowly moving towards making those things happen. She just needs to be a little more methodical with her game strategy, her game talk, and even be careful telling Lala stuff, because if Taylor isn't doing the yapping, it's Lala. And it's going to eventually cause a big blow up for Taylor's game, because the person they're going to shoot at first is Taylor, especially before Lala. But great strategic player so far.
Taylor's mouth is the thing that it's so interesting, because you don't want her to be quiet, but she talks. Sometimes she just starts to talk so much. And Drew, they have a good relationship, but Drew's still scared of her.
100.
And that's, it
and
sucks.
We know that Dee and Angela already are. They're like petrified.
Exactly. So, okay, let's hear about Common because I technically agree.
Kamu to me strategic player because how the heck did you convince someone you put on the block to keep you off the block, join an alliance with, create, and even the strategic moment of pulling himself away from the Haley and Chuck, winning the veto to ensure that even he can be a backdoor plan, to even not using it on his allies to almost guarantee one of them walk out the door, raises his ranks with so many people like, okay, yeah, Kamu's doing some strategic stuff this week. He's playing the game, but he's also able to be fluid. And I think that's what caused Lala to gravitate to him. Oh, you're being fluid. Taylor to gravitate like, oh, we got some shaking. And he even stamped his brotherhood with Yash. So it's like, to me, strategically, if you could convince someone who you put on the block to keep you off the block, and do some crazy stuff where you're the talks of the town for the week still. Strategy, baby. Strategy.
And he got, and Dee gave up her biggest secret to him before she gave it up to Devons. Like, he does have this way of just seeming like it's his self-assurance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he has this self-assurance. You never really see him sweat. And you know what they say, when you come off confident, people gravitate towards that. So I think that's a really good point. That's all I'll give him.
I knew we wasn't getting a dissertation when it comes to him at all.
But you're right. Like he ate. He did eat. Objectively, he ate.
Yeah. And we'll see what the rest of the season have to give, right?
Okay. Flop of the week. I'm excited about this because I actually changed mine as you were talking about someone. I changed it to someone else. So you ready? 1, 2, 3, Barrett.
Chuck.
Yes. Obviously Chuck for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't usually like to pick an eliminated player, like the person who actually went home the week, but I just feel like what we talked about, it just did that. But I'll talk more about it. Yeah.
We can talk about Chuck real quick because it's so interesting because he went from not being on the block to being on the block, but not going home to going home. Like, no, if he's on the block at the end, he's going home. Like, that's such a steep decline.
Yeah, because going into the week, like even when Lala first won her first conversation she had with Taylor, like, I'm gonna give my brother a reprieve. My brother, he gonna survive. My brother. And it just took a one conversation for people to see through his facade that all of a sudden now he's your brother. And it took Kamu to let him know, like, babe, he never cared for you. He never gave anything for you. For him to lose his whole alliance in the drop of a dime, him to be the house target if Haley seems to come out of the equation. He was such a flop when Taylor was literally giving him the pinpoints of, hey, if Haley's out of the equation, it's you, my brother. So you might want to do some yapping, but also don't be scared to give people stuff. Like, you want to say you want to put up Melody? How is that going to give us anything? So it just seems like he just wasn't self-aware, first of all, of who he was as a person, how to play this game, or even the social capital to change the trajectory. I feel like he could have talked to people till he was blue in the face and nothing would change. Whereas Kamu have one conversation with people and it's a total flip. So yeah, it just gave flop energy. And then you also in the week, Haley wins Blockbuster. The plan came to flourish so that you were next and you went home.
And still shocked. Like, Taylor said, like she said the whole week, like, you might want to go campaign. Can you believe that he thought that he had votes over Barrett? Y'all are in the same alliance. Don't you see Dee hanging out with Barrett more than she hangs out with you? Don't you see
Where's the self-awareness?
Devons? Like, what?
Yeah.
And, like, the biggest thing that, like, we should all learn from this is that you have to make yourself valuable in the game. Mm-hmm. Like, he was so, like, if you got Haley, everyone does not, like, no one really likes Haley in the house except you.
Mm-hmm.
How could that be the only person that you're close with and trust? There's another point I was going to make, but I couldn't remember what it was going to be. But he was not valuable. I'm glad he is gone. He absolutely is flop. My flop was going to be Lala because I do feel like she kind of, like I said, limped out this week. But I'm going to give it to Barrett because I think is this the first or second week that he's on the block? Is this the first time he's on the block?
I think second because he was on the block, last week, yeah.
So the second time he's on the block. And he was, he is an option to be a replacement nomination this week as well. So he has basically positioned himself as a pawn, just like
Yeah.
Lala
Block
is.
star.
And I don't think I don't know how that sets you up for a win, because I don't think people respect his game. Like, you don't want to be the person who is like, oh, we're going to put you in the black because no one's going to sing you home. Like, yeah, so maybe you'll get to top 5 or something. But I don't think that people are going to respect his game at this point. So, it's bad.
Yeah, he would have to do a lot of waking up. Like, he would have to make this tremendous move to change my perception, especially as a juror, as we move into the jury phase of the game soon. And as you're trying to build that resume, when you're still in the game with these people like the D's, the Devons, and even like the Taylors, like, I can't see him sitting next to Taylor and they respecting his game, even though he might have been in alliance with him for umpteen weeks of the game. Once Taylor really speak on her gameplay, if sitting next to Barrett would eat him alive. D is eating almost anyone alive. Devons, anyone alive. Angela, maybe you got a little bit of something, whatever, but
Depending.
I just don't see, as I look at the rest of the cast, and Barrett is in the equation of sitting next to someone, I don't see Barrett having the gumption. Mallory even has stuff she could say more than him. Melody, like being able to come from being the house target to making it through. Like, everyone in the game has a story compared to what Barrett has. Like, it's just, he has a couple more weeks where he can maybe change the trajectory, but right now it's giving floppy Yana. So I like your pick. Like, it's a great pick.
Yeah, it was when you brought up Barrett while you were talking about Drew, and I was like, yeah, like, Barrett's like, he's no Drew.
Yeah,
like, he's no Drew at
he's
all.
not Drew at all. Yeah,
He's not Drew at all. So, okay, that is our recap for week 5 and a little bit of 6. We're gonna be back on Friday.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, we're going to record on Friday, but I haven't decided if I drop on Fridays or if I'm dropping on Saturday morning. But we will be recording on Friday. You can count on that, guys. Thank you so much for our new subscribers. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Shout out to my girl who comments all the time.
I know. I love it.
It's like Bonnie. Like, that's your name. But I want to know if that is your real name. Gorgeous. But where's that Bonnie? Maybe it's Bonnie. Whatever your name is, let me know what it is. And I love you.
So we can shout you out more.
So we can shout you
we
out.
appreciate you.
You know, we should have you on at some point too, if you want to.
Yeah. Always open, babe.
Always open. All right. Thank you so much, Lance.
Yeah.
See y'all soon again. Bye.